Hi, this is Nettura. So this video is gonna be slightly different than my usual way of talking and informing, I guess, because I basically want to give like a relation video, right? So this is going to be about Ketu conjunct the ascendant. Now, if anybody knows me from my previous channel, you would know damn well that I have this big fascination in regards to Ketu specifically. And I love discovering new bullshit in regards to Ketu that I've never heard before. I like to make my own self-discoveries. I apologize, I had rice in my necklace and now it's on my shirt. So, a lot of people, you know, when you watch videos of Ketu in your ascendant or whatever, or you look it up online, you usually get like, well, this is gonna make you feel this way. Well, this is what it means for your destiny. But I've never really heard somebody express how they actually feel when they have this placement. So I guess this video is more about either to those that have Ketu in their ascendant as well, as I do, or those that are researching, people that are interested in learning and being astrologers, I guess, in some way. And they want to know like first-hand experiences, kind of. So let's start. Ketu in the ascendant. Now, obviously, if you have a planet in the ascendant with Ketu, it's gonna give a bit of a different flavor than Ketu by itself. So my situation, I have Ketu conjunct Jupiter in my ascendant. So everything I say, take it through the grain of salt, the sidelines of Jupiter as well, okay? I am a Libra ascendant. In Vedic astrology, I am a Virgo ascendant, Hasta nakshatra, okay? So that's the context and the flavors. Let's start. So, Ketu on the ascendant. You are head fucking empty. So, the mythology of Ketu is that Ketu is a headless body, right? Because Rahu is the head without the body and Ketu is the body without the head. So, you take this into realistic, practical approach. My head is empty 24/7. It's always empty. And when I think, I don't think like a normal person. You know, I don't have like the usual day-to-day logical thoughts. I don't experience that. And for the longest time, I felt alienated about this. I felt like I was genuinely like, sorry, the word retarded. That's how I felt like. I genuinely felt retarded in every way, shape, or form. I thought that I'm not stupid. It's a different version of stupidity. It's like your brain is kind of like a vegetable. I thought I maybe was like a vegetable brain. Like I knew nothing. I was nothing. I've never been anything. I don't have the capacity to be anything, which directly contradicts my high IQ. Actually, I have a very high IQ. So I'm always like, well, the facts don't make sense here. So I'm not actually this way, but I feel this way. And everyone around me makes me feel this way. Even not just people I come across, but like society in general, it always makes you feel this way, you know? So yeah, you'll always have these experiences where you think that you're stupid. Not stupid, you don't know anything, but stupid in a way of you don't have the capacity to learn anything. It's that type of stupid, okay? Hence why I said the word retarded. That's what I mean. And if any SJW fucking warriors want to come to me, I'm autistic. I'm allowed to say that word. Anyways, moving on. What the fuck? Fucking balloons, bitch. Okay. Okay, moving on. But yeah, anyways, the head is very empty, okay? You view life through such a numb, passionless way where you are confused. You are lost. You are literally lost about everything. I can't even tell you like what to be lost about. You're just simply chronically lost. Like, you know, when you're in high school and you're studying and everybody asks you like, what are you studying for? What job do you wish to acquire when you get older? What uni course are you looking to do? What is your career aspiration? And you just say, I don't know. And when you say I don't know, the people will tell you, well, you'll figure it out as you grow up. And then you grow up and you're like, I'm even less passionless than I used to be when I was 14 years old. I'm even more numb. I'm even more confused. I have even less of a visionary goal than I did when I was younger. You grow up so empty in your head. And obviously with Ketu on the Ascendant, you have a lot of traumatic childhood experiences, because the first house, as well as the second and the third, the first three houses, they represent where you grew up. They represent what you were born into, in a way. Now, obviously, the one represents one thing, the two another, the three another, but they're all, in a way, like how you grew up, right? So the first house is specifically what environment you were born into. What philosophy of life you were initially given. That it's the seed for you to grow your life out of. So if you were given a seed of nothingness, if you are not provided with a seed, with a vision, with a passion, with a foundation of how to build anything to begin with, you see how you grow up passionless and confused about everything, and you lack a certain aspect in your mind which everyone else around you seems to have. It's very depressing. Yes, it feels very melancholic and depressing, actually. It does. Now, about the thoughts, for example, which type of thoughts you would have. So I mentioned, like, I'm usually head empty. I can't really think about much, It's not that you don't have the capacity to think logically. You do, because that has nothing to do with Ketu. That's all Mercury and even Rahu to some extent in your chart, the North Node, right? So it's kind of Mercury and the North Node where your logical thinking kind of comes into play. But again, it influences your Ketu. So for example, with me, yes, I'm actually a very logical person. I think a lot. I'm an overthinker. I'm an insomniac because I overthink so much and I cannot stop thinking. However, it's like your thinking it comes at the wrong time. Your brain seems to get activated in all the wrong moments, all the inefficient moments where you would like to be relaxed, you will be overthinking. When you need to be thinking, you cannot. You don't have the capacity to think. So it works against you, the thinking. It works against you always. You seem to always have it work against you, right? Because you are clouded. Your opinion of the world, your first house, your opinion of the world, your philosophy of the eyes of what you see through are clouded with void, with nothingness, with zero passion, with zero likely of opinion. And of course, if you are so nothingness, oh, that's a really nice car, man. If you are so nothingness, you will get depressed. So yes, nothingness is neutral, but we're human beings with a bias. So this is where your own biology works against you as well. Since we have an innate bias as humans, and we always want to seek experience, if you seek experience and you experience a lack of experience, then you will feel depressed about it. So this neutrality becomes negative. So with Ketu on the Ascendant, or even Ketu anywhere near Mercury, it will or Moon as well, actually, or Moon as well, Mercury and Moon. You have the tendency to be very depressed. Now, whether we're talking about major depressive disorder or simply a severely pessimistic philosophy, that again depends on the way your placements are placed and the strength of your planets, or downfall of them. However, you have this tendency of pessimism. Because if you feel nothing at all, you kind of, we have confirmation bias as humans. So we're like, oh, if I feel nothing, then I don't have the capacity to feel anything. Then I'm never gonna be able to feel anything, then nothing in my life is ever gonna come my way that will make me feel alive. You feel so numb to the extent where you kind of feel like a corpse in a way. You feel dead. You feel like, but am I alive? I'm alive consciously, sure, because you're wondering and philosophizing, so there's a certain evidence that you cannot deny of your own existence, right? However, you feel as though you are the only person that knows that you are alive. You have either a fear of being seen or a likely element that you are not seen. No matter how hard you try, people around you ignore you. People around you do not include you. People around you purposefully scapegoat you. When you're talking, people speak over you and they don't come back to ask what you were saying. You are ignored. You're not seen. And you will have certain experiences in your life where you are seen, right? Now, this depends on your Sun and Venus. But when you have a certain Sun or Venus, that indicates, so it depends on the sign and the house and everything, right? So for example, Sun or Venus in Cancer, Gemini, Leo, even Aquarius, even Capricorn, to be honest, Aries as well. But when you have these certain placements with your Sun or Venus, you will have experiences in your life where you become seen. Whether it's permanently or temporarily, you become seen, right? And you feel what it's like to be experienced by the world or by people around you. However, what happens then? Your Ketu will cause you to fear what you are experiencing. And then you will go, oh, okay, this nothingness that I have, I might actually prefer it. So let me go back to it. Let me self-sabotage me finally being seen and ruin it for myself. Because being ignored and unseen and treated like a corpse is, to be honest, more comfortable for me. Because I know it better. It's comforting because I know what comes with it. I know how to feel. There's nothing uncertain about it, right? Because Rahu is the one that brings uncertainty. Ketu brings certainty. So you fall back into the trap of certainty and comfort zone. One thing as well a lot of people don't talk about is Ketu on the ascendant gives a lot of scars on the face. Scars of anything. Whether it's an injury, whether it's a piercing scar, whether it's a burn scar, anything permanent that is scarred on the face, you will have it. For example, I have a scar right here on my forehead. I don't know if you could see it through the camera. You can see it over here. See that little white line up here? Yeah, that one. That was an injury I got when I was 10 years old, and I had it sewn at the clinic, right, at the hospital. And they told me that the scar will go away in 3 weeks. And they said everyone they did this sewing to, the scar goes away in a couple of weeks. It's been 10 years. It's still just as visible as it was when I was 10. So you have these certain experiences, right, where you stay scarred, even though you're supposed to recover from the scar. Now, whether this is actually physical or metaphorical, right, you keep being scarred and wounded over and over and over again. More things, to be honest, but it's always related to the face, because the face is unseen. So if you put the unseen on top of your face, which is the part of you that is meant to be seen, it will get wounded. It's like, for example, when you have a blind spot in the road when you're driving, right? Somebody comes out, you don't see them, boom. It's like that. It's a similar concept here that happens when it comes to the face, astrologically, theoretically, conceptually. I don't know which word I have to refer to. You get the concept I was trying to express. You will go through certain moments of your life where you feel like everything triggers you. Everything reminds you of your trauma. Everything reminds you of your past. It's very hard, actually. I'm sorry, guys. I will talk about the benefits later, but the thing is, again, Ketu on the ascendant, you are pessimistic. So I'm not going to come here and blabber about the positives when the point of this placement is to be chronically negative. I'm giving an example, a real life example of what it's like. Regardless of what else they have around the Ketu, whatever sign it's in, regardless, Ketu in the first house makes you a pessimist. I have Jupiter conjunct my Ketu, conjunct my ascendant, right at the top of it. Okay, first house. I'm just as pessimistic as everybody else. It doesn't matter that Jupiter is about luck and expansion and optimism and life and expansion. No, because Ketu sucks everything inside of it. Doesn't matter if you have Jupiter or Venus or whatever other nice, greatly planet. It turns negative. It turns against you. You feel like you have no luck. You are cursed beyond every generation you've ever came from. You are chronically cursed, and no matter how hard you pray and you try and you change your mind and try to twist the fucking bullshit, you genuinely experience the feeling of being cursed and nothing going right. And this specifically would go for Ketu with Jupiter and Ketu with Venus. You feel like you're chronically cursed, man. Like your blessings are a black hole. You'll get a glimpse of your blessing, and the moment you try to catch it, it goes away. You lose it. So with this placement as well goes a great fear of abandonment. So Ketu with Venus would be a huge fear of abandonment in relationships on the ascendant. Even actually, if this placement was in the 7th house as well. Great fear of abandonment. Jupiter in your first house with Ketu gives you a fear of abandonment of opportunities in your life. Anything that comes to you, you're fearing that is going to leave you the moment you try to go for it. So you self-sabotage your experiences. The moment somebody reaches out to you that you wanted them to reach out to you, you'll abandon them. Do not disturb, block, something. You leave. Because you're scared. You're like, I'd rather not act and be in control of my sabotage than have this shit happen to me all over again. There's also an element of feeling like you can never learn enough. Again, so Ketu is a very mystical, detached, numb, but mystical planet. It has an element of Neptune in it, okay? Imagine if Neptune and Jupiter had a baby, but the baby was super fucking evil. That's what Ketu is, okay? So it's very spiritual, it's very detached, it's very mystical, it's very otherworldly. But it's so good, it's too good to be true. It's always too good to be true. Because you get sucked in your escapism and everything backfires in your fucking face, right? So it's very spiritual, it's very mystical. So you always have an element of soul evolvement, soul evolution, growing your consciousness, expanding your knowledge. And you do that, right? You're constantly, even all of us as human beings, but specifically somebody with a prominent Ketu, especially on the ascendant or conjunct Jupiter, or both at the same time, there's an element of you are extremely aware of how your soul is evolving. You're very in touch with your soul. You're actually more in touch with your soul and the nothingness up here than you are in your own living experience. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You know what's going on up here, but you have no idea what the fuck is going on like over here, right? There's that extreme imbalance over there. Where was I going with this actually? Not sure. Where the fuck was I going with this? I remembered. So, since Ketu is such a mystical planet, you're always feeling like you're evolving, your soul, whatever, and you're so in touch with it. You're so aware of this evolution happening. You know where you are, you know where you're going, right? You have this soul direction. You don't have a life direction. No, that's out of the window. It never was there. You'll probably never have it. But, or even if you develop it, it'll still be less than others around you that you can observe. But you're so in touch with the evolution of your soul, however, although you feel like it's a never-ending battle. It's a never-ending battle of learning and learning and learning and learning and learning and learning and learning, and you feel like, oh, okay, I'm sure once I get past this level, this imaginary level I'm projecting, I will achieve this one thing, or I'll achieve this thing by myself and it'll project into this thing in my life. No! You'll get a glimpse of it. Will it happen? No. It's this constant unreachableness of goals within your life. So you already struggle to set goals in your life and to put them into practice. But also, once you try, they will run away from you. So honestly, you should give up with this one thing. From my personal experience, at least, if you have Ketu in the ascendant, you should give up with this goal setting, goal chasing. Give up. Give up. Give up. Make your 5-year, 10-year plan, whatever. If you're that type of person, yes, do it. But just chasing it every day, trying to achieve it, give up on that. On the micromanaging of your goals. Give up on that. Seriously, give up. It will work against you. I know that nobody accepts giving up in this society, and it's not promoted, but listen. We're different. Give up. Give up. We don't have the usual life path. Give up. It will serve you, actually. It really will serve you. So yeah, just take my advice, please, or you will break your head. How do you explain this one? You may experience the goal, actually. When I said like you don't have any passions or goals, or you're very numb when it regards to these things, right? I meant that in regards to day-to-day things, okay? Day-to-day things. Corporate jobs, careers, school, friendships, casual relationships, whatever else, okay? These are worldly things. You do, however, have, as a Ketu on the ascendant, or even Ketu in the 9th house, this would also count as well, of course, Ketu conjunct Jupiter, especially in the 1st or the 9th house as well, you have this longing goal within your soul, kind of ascending, leaving, being a monk. I don't mean dying. Maybe if you're that depressed or your moon is that debilitated, right? Someone with a Scorpio moon with these placements, yes, you will have suicidal ideation. But even moon in the 8th house, you will have these ideations. However, Scorpio and 8th house out of the question, out of the equation, you will have this longing to ascend and to leave the urban city life, and you want to just disappear. Go in the mountains and be a monk. You want to leave this bullshit. But you want to stay conscious, you want to stay alive. You just need to detach from everything and stay alive, which is a very hard balance to reach in this day-to-day world, isn't it? So you are always kind of battling this wish of yours, but you can't see a way on how to experience it. So you might be called to meditations, to getting in touch with your chakras through different religions, specifically Buddhism and Hinduism as well. You might be into metaphysics. Yes, because Rahu rules physics and Ketu rules metaphysics. So you will be very interested in metaphysics. Interested in how it works, even maybe have a hyperfixation on it, to be honest. You want to learn about it. You want to implement it in your life. You want to even teach it, especially if you have it in the 9th house or conjunct Jupiter. You want to organize your life experience through the meaning of metaphysics. You might feel sometimes that you are a black hole. Your physicality is a black hole. Maybe you've had a lot of near-death experiences with Ketu in the 1st house, because Ketu represents death, right? Because it's exalted in the 8th house, house of death. And it's very similar to Scorpio, sign of death. So if Ketu is placed on the 1st house, which is the house of your physicality, you will probably have experienced a lot of near-death experiences, or even being sexually violated because of the scorpionic influence of the sexual organs and stuff in your genitals. Genitals, yes. Hormonal problems. Yes, you will struggle with hormonal problems if you are a female, especially. So with Ketu in the 1st house or conjunct moon, you have probably PCOS or endometriosis or a lack of hormones, or you are intersex, or you have these weird variations that are not common, or that you end up struggling with due to the fact of them being not common, and they're not being common, cheap, appropriate treatment, stuff like that. The ascendant as well, besides representing your whole body, it specifically represents the head, the face. So you would struggle, Ketu on the ascendant, with migraines for no reason at all. Migraines, sinus pains, even sinus infections possibly, but it's this constant pressure. Also pressure in the teeth, the molars. You'll have a lot of pressure here for no reason at all. Ears, pressure in your eardrum, problems with your eardrum, otitis media, otitis externa. All of these issues probably you will struggle or deal with once in your life for sure. What else? Maybe you struggle with breathing. You have like either asthma, or you just always have a stuffy nose, or any of these things. Ketu with Mercury, especially on the ascendant or in the 3rd house, you struggle with speaking. You have a lisp. You are nonverbal. You struggle with learning languages very greatly. You understand, but to confess, to express, that is where you suffer. So it's a lifelong struggle. I don't think there's much else to talk about, to be honest. I think you got the general gist.
Oh my goodness. I apologize for my periods and the way I sound, okay? I'm really, really, really sick. But I thought of kind of like more points, so I'm gonna just put them in this video instead of making a part 2, because they can't be us. Like, might as well just put them all in here, right? So with Ketu on the ascendant, you have this like chronic feeling of being disconnected from your own body. I don't know how to explain this one, because just me saying, oh, you feel disconnected from your body, does not express the intensity of this feeling. It doesn't express it. You need to be in it to understand what I'm really putting out there. So I'm gonna try my best over here, okay? I need to blow my nose again. It almost feels like your body is wanting to do something. it's wanting to express something. It's in this specific frequency, but your mind is unresponsive to what your body's signals are giving you. Your mind and your body are constantly at a different frequency, and it's so fucking difficult to align them together, because your body feels this way, but your mind feels this way. That's how it feels. I can't really put you in it because it's such an intuitive feeling. It's so suffocating. It's such a feeling that is like down a well that you can't really express it or explain it. But it feels like that. Like your body and your mind are always disconnected, and your life is kind of following the battle of achieving the goal of finally aligning your mind with your body, which I don't know if it can ever be achieved, to be honest. I don't know. I'm still young, right? But it's a feeling of something you constantly want to accomplish with this placement. You sometimes also feel like you cannot control your body. And since the body and the mind are such at different frequencies, you feel like you struggle to control your body. It's a struggle because it's like your mind has to visualize and imagine where the body is, because there's not that natural harmony between them. This placement might also indicate an onset of Parkinson's disease. It can also, this is like not an if and a maybe, this is like a definite, severe anxiety. Okay, we have like the jitters, the heart rate differences, the fear, the paranoia, the what if, the everyone's perceiving me, oh my god, I'm being seen. It's these kind of things that you're gonna experience, right? That's that. I'm heading out now.
I will be back soon with another video with a bunch of other thoughts that I put together to speak about. Goodbye. I love you. Have a great day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world. Ciao, ciao.